Hi everybody, today we're going to do a slightly different video using the reformer machine, and I'm going to be on the mat. So it's going to be reformer on the mat, and it'll incorporate all four of our extension, lateral flexion, rotation and flexion movements. There's obviously so much that we could do, but I've just picked out a few moves that I thought were quite interesting to look at the comparisons. I've got a helper here from the leg household, so she's going to be on the reformer and I'm going to be on the mat. So we're going to begin with a little stretch. So we'll stand up. I might just add that I'm using bands today. I've got two bands just because it's slightly easier for me and I don't have to work between sort of one and the other. And I've also got a roller, so if you've got a roller and you would like to add a roller, then please feel free. So we're going to begin with a little stretch. So on the reformer, you would take your foot forwards, your other foot would come back, your heel would press in against what we call the shoulder rest. So I can replicate that on the mat. And we can begin with our knee down onto either the carriage or onto the mat. So this might be easiest for you in this position here. If you would like to make it more challenging, with shoulder blades down, you're going to elevate your knee up and push back into that heel. So we should feel a lovely stretch through the front of our hip on that outstretched leg. If you draw your hip bones back a little bit, which tips the pelvis a little back, because you'll feel that stretch a little more deeply. And then slowly from there, you can just allow your knee to come down and you could let the carriage come back into the stoppers. So we're going to repeat that one more time. So you start to push the reformer machine all the way out. And if you want to make it more challenging, you can hover that knee up and pause like so. So I'm pushing my heel backwards. On the reformer, the heel pushes into the shoulder rest. Now we're going to take the same side arm as we have the leg stretched out behind us. We're going to lift it all the way up above our shoulder. And we're going to start to laterally flex across to the right, parting the rib cage. And you should feel a lovely, lovely stretch in that lateral flex position. To make it more challenging, you can hold your wrist and just pull over a little to the side. Then slowly from there, we bring it all the way back up to the upright. Bring your hands back down, bring your knee down, and slowly let the carriage come back in. Now I'm just going to take a little step forwards. Pop your walk all the way around to the other side. We'll do exactly the same on the other side. So whenever you're ready, you take your other foot back. Now it might be easier for you to keep your knee down. So you might want to keep that knee down, maybe that's more comfortable. And just allow yourself to always check that your front knee is directly over your ankle. The hip bones pull back a little to increase the stretch through the front of the opposite hip. To make it more challenging, you would start to straighten that leg out, pushing your heel away from you, or if you're on the reformer, into your shoulder rest. And then slowly from there, you can bring it down. You would bring the reformer back to the stoppers. We're going to repeat by pushing it all the way out. Feel that lovely lunge. Elevating if you wish the progression. Hold and breathe. Let your shoulder blades just drop in a soft V down your back. Then take the same side arm as you have, leg outstretched behind you. Bring it all the way up, and then part your ribs on that side to laterally flex across. Really think about keeping the breath big and wide, holding your wrist if you can, and start to pull a little against that wrist. Then bring it all the way back up. Allow your arms to come all the way down and let your back knee come down and park the carriage. Perfect. So from there, just take a little moment. We're going to allow ourselves now to do some footwork. So I'm going to use a band here. Bobby will put maybe 2 reds and a blue or 3 red springs on and come down onto the carriage. So if you wish at all a block or a pillow or a towel underneath your head, please feel free to take one. And we're going to come all the way down onto the mat. And we're going to use the band. Now if you haven't got a band, it doesn't matter, you don't need to use one. But if you have, we're going to just carefully pick up one leg, carefully pick up the other, pop the feet into the band. And I've got quite a little bit of tension onto the band. And I'm going to hold with a fairly firm grip with my elbows planted down by my sides. Now, if you're on the reformer, you'd have all 10 toes on with about a couple of fingers width between your big toes. Your heels are slightly lifted. Now, all we're going to do here is from a neutral spine, wide full inhale to prepare. You're going to exhale and push all the way out. Resist to bring it back in. And again, push all the way out. Fully straightened legs. Resist to bring it back in. We'll call this 3 and resist. 4 and resist. 5 and resist. So you're trying to keep your pelvis absolutely stable. Try and keep everything happening absolutely symmetrically left to right. You know that I can't work and count, so I've slightly lost count. We'll maybe do 3 more and resist. 2 more, keep those shoulder blades beautifully soft down your back. 1 more and all the way in. Now from there, we're going to move our feet into a little V position, so our heels glue together. I'm pulling my big toes away from each other. And I'm allowing my knees to track over my big toe, second toe. Still a beautiful level spine, neutral pelvis. And again, we push all the way out. Squeeze those legs together, resist to bring it back in. And push all the way out, squeeze, resist. So my focal points are pushing my heels, my calves, my knees, my inner thighs together. Squeeze and resist. Keep the length in your spine throughout and resist. We'll do 5 more. Squeeze everything. Don't be in a rush to release. So just as Poppy's not letting the springs pull her back in, I'm not letting the band just pull me back in. We'll just do a couple more. Pushing all the way out and resist. 1 more. Draw the abdominal wall in and all the way back. We can just hug our knees in towards our chest just for a second, and we're going to pop the band out to the side. Now slowly from there, I'm going to slightly change things by allowing myself to come all the way up, and we're going to come into a little 4-point kneeling position, and Poppy's going to push all the way out to long, lengthened legs. Now we're going to come into a little upside down V position. So keep the shoulder blades beautifully soft, spread the weight through 10 fingers, and we're going to come into upside down V. Now we're going to do what we recognize as running in place on the reformer. So we're going to lift one heel while Poppy pushes one heel under. And then we're going to lift both up for a momentary second and switch under. We lift and under, lift and under. So you're really getting a lovely stretch through the foot that's coming down to the floor. If you were on the reformer machine, by pushing that heel underneath the foot bar, you're getting the equivalent lovely stretch, if not deeper. And we'll just do a couple more. Lift up and down, lift up and down. 1 more each side, up and down. Now push both heels down. And we're going to push them down. Keep the length between seat bones, pushing upwards and your heels pushing downwards. We're going to lift both heels up. Nice straight legs and push straight under. We'll lift and we lower. We lift and we lower. We'll just do 4 and lower, 3 and lower, 2 and lower, last 1 and lower. And then slowly from there, just bend the knees and let it come all the way back in. You can allow yourself just a little moment, whatever feels good to you. That might be just hugging your knees into your chest or allowing yourself just a moment on the mat. Bringing it all the way back up whenever you're ready. So we're going to move into a little bit of roll up, and we're going to do that with the band. Now, entirely up to you. If you would rather not use a band, you don't need to use the band, but I'm going to use a band. So, just so that we can make it as similar to the reformer as possible. So Poppy's legs go through the shoulder rest. She's got a little bit of space behind her. And she's going to pick up her straps and she's going to hold them by the webbing or the taping, however tight she wants to make it. You're on maybe a red spring, a blue spring, it's entirely up to you. And we're going to think about how we sit. So we're going to think about almost pulling the skin from underneath our seat bones so that we can really sit up. The arms are quite high and we're going to think about squeezing the legs together. Now we're going to draw the hip bones lightly backwards, feel how you start to flex your spine and allow yourself just to come down to a point that you can feel round about your waistband. Take a wide full inhale and as you exhale the hip bones draw lightly backwards all the way over to those seat bones again and lift your eyes back up. Keep your arms high and again draw your hip bones lightly backwards, bringing it all the way down. Imagine pushing your feet into that band and then slowly as you exhale. Remember we talked about the wheels, the circles. I want you to think about your pelvic circle, your pelvic wheel moving backwards, and meanwhile your upper wheel is going to start to think about coming forwards whilst this lower wheel is slightly in a tendency to roll backwards. We'll just do a couple more, drawing it down. Now if you're on the mat, you could come all the way down if you wished. You would inhale as you lift your head, neck and chest and exhale all the way back up. You're just thinking mobility, moving the spine. Last one, hip bones pull back. And then an inhale as you lift your head, neck and chest and exhale all the way back up again. Now simply from there we're going to make this a bit more progressive. So if you would rather not hold it in the flexed position, then you can keep doing some roll-ups. But if you can, we progress by bringing it not quite so far back and hold it here. Now you've got a good firm grip on your band and we're going to release the right foot out from the strap and it's just reaching long and lengthened away from us. Now keeping the pelvis slightly tipped backwards, I'm going to come a little way in with the upper body and the knee and reach it away. We'll just do 5. We pull it in a little way and reach. We come in a little way and reach. 2 more and reach. 1 more and reach. Slowly from there, pop that foot back in and we lengthen and lift the other leg. And again, baby lift, really flexing that upper back as well as the lower back. And reach and lift. And reach. The lower you go, the more challenging this is. The smaller you make the lift, the more challenging it is. The less tension on the band, more challenging it is. So the lower we go, the more challenging. The less tension on the band, the more challenging. So make it work for you. We'll just do 1 more, all the way up. And pop that foot in beside and you can just bring it down for 1 more, lift your head, neck and chest and let it come all the way back up, low back, middle back, upper back and eyes. Very, very well done. So make sure that you're back. If you need to at any point, just take little stretches, move your spine around because sometimes these are quite tricky. And we're now going to do a little bit of 4-point kneeling. Now, on the reformer, you would come into a 4-point kneeling position facing the mirror, but we need to just lighten up the spring for a second. So if you go to the yellow peg, and I have made a little sort of makeshift pulley almost here. Now, you obviously don't have a reformer bar at home, but if you had a table leg, something firm, I wouldn't suggest a chair unless it was really, really, really heavy. But if you could connect your band to something that was quite firm, then I've doubled mine over like so, just to make it slightly more easy to work with. And so from here, and you can always do this without a band if you would rather not use one, we're going to find that 4-point kneeling position. And on the reformer, you pick up a strap you hold by your either taping or your webbing. And you're going to simply from there think about preparing the body in terms of stability. So you've got a little bit of curvature in your low back. The bottom ribs are ever so slightly drawn in. You can feel the skin of the low abdominals or the low stomach just lightly drawing away from your clothing. Take a wide full inhale with a lovely long neck, soft shoulder blades. We're simply going to pull all the way back until our arm is level with the rest of the body and resist to bring it back. And again, we'll go 5 of these. Pull all the way back, resist, resist, resist. And again, pulling all the way back and resist, resist, resist. You can obviously make your band as tight or as loose as you wish. And again, we're going to pull all the way back, and this time we're going to hold it here, just level with about our body. Imagine a pin has gone through your elbow, the upper arm stays exactly as it is, and we're going to move into a little tricep kickback by just dropping your forearm down and kick it straight back. And again, we'll go in, kick it straight back. Keep very strong on the other arm, and again, in, and kick it back. We'll just do one more. In, and kick it all the way back. Now, if you'd like to add a little extra challenge, which is very challenging on the reformer, you put your opposite leg into a beautiful long and lengthened position. And we could try with a straight arm, so no longer triceps, bringing it all the way down, pull it straight back. We'll just do 3. Resist down, pull it straight back. One more. Pull it straight back. Now we're going to try 3 tricep kickbacks. So leave the leg, just tricep kickback for 1. And just 2 more, kick it back. 1 more, kick it all the way back. And we'll bring the arm and the leg down at exactly the same time. Take a little break. Watch out for your wrists. Make sure that your wrists are not feeling tight at all. And we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. So, from here, we'll do exactly the same setup. Find that little box position, little bit of curvature through your low back, bottom ribs pull in. Now, whenever you're ready, you're going to just take a little bit of weight off the working side. That's the side you're going to be moving. As you inhale to prepare, we'll pull all the way back. And all the way back to start position. So, exhale, pull back. Inhale, resist back. We're doing 3 more, and resist. Be careful you haven't locked your elbow on the support side out. And 2 more, resist that spring weight, back that back. And resist, just 1 more, all the way back. And we'll bring it all the way down. Let's go all the way back up again, and hold it here. And slowly from there, bend at your elbow. And kick it back. So there's a little elbow bend and kick it back. Now you might find that one side is easier than the other. Kick it back. 2 more. Are you breathing? Exhale back. Inhale. Exhale back. Hold it here. Now carefully see if you can elevate the opposite leg and reach it out. And you're going to very slowly with a straight arm just for 3. Make it slow. Pull it back for 1. Only 2 more with the straight arm. Pull from the upper arm bone, not from your hand. 1 more. Really keep thinking about lengthening that leg away from you and hold the arm back there. Then a little elbow back bend. Just 3 tricep kickbacks. 1. And in and 2. Lengthen that leg. In and last 1, 3. Hold. And the knee bends and the arm bends as we bring it all the way back, and just give yourself a little moment so you can rest back. Just make sure that your wrists feel okay. So just circling one way and circling the other way. Now slowly from there, we're going to do a little draw the sword. So it's going to be a single arm this time. Hopefully you've got a little setup that is working for you. So attached to a table or attached to something. It might be a door handle, it might be something that is nicely firm that you can just attach your band to. So we're going to hold the band. We're going to come into a kneeling position this time. So on the reformer, you can be onto a blue spring. And we are up against what we call the shoulder rests here. So if we want to make it more challenging, we can push it all the way away, but we'll just give you an idea of what it looks like. So from here, on your knees, you're going to think about almost as though you had a little broken arm. And you're going to allow yourself to push your pubic bone a little forwards. You're going to allow yourself to grow tall through the crown of the head, and the opposite hand can come onto your waist. Now you're going to slowly from there pull out and then reach all the way out. Bring it all the way back in with control. And again, we pull out and reach out and all the way back in. And again, pulling all the way out and reach out and all the way back in. And again, pulling out and reach out all the way back in. So we pull and we reach and all the way back in. We'll do 2 more and reach and all the way back in. 1 more, all the way out. And this time we're going to hold it out there. Now imagine that you were stirring a giant pot of soup and let it slowly come all the way around, around, around. Try 1 more of these. All the way out, draw a sword, and a big pot of soup all the way around, and just pause. So from there, we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. So allow yourself to come all the way around. Excuse my back to you. Just bring this a little further along. And again, sink your tail. Think about your hand onto your shoulder, and you're going to think about almost like a little broken arm in a sling. And you're going to bring your elbow out first, reach it all the way out and push. All the way back in and back down. So we pull out and reach and all the way in. So the key here is to think about control. So Poppy's not letting that spring pull her in and out. She's creating a sense of resistance in her own mind, so that her arm muscles are doing twice the work. If she lets her spring just pull her in, then she's missing out on 50% of the work. And all the way back. We'll just do 1 more, all the way out, and reach, and all the way back in. Now from there, we'll just do 2 where we stir the pot. We're going to reach out and hold. Now slowly I bring that straight arm a little round in front of me, and 1 more, all the way out, reach, all the way around, stir the pot, stir the pot, stir the pot, stir the pot, and take a little rest. Well done. So from here, we're going to bring it around. You're going to put on a little red spring, and we're going to do a little bit of chest expansion. Okay, and that is really just thinking, it's about, in the name, expanding the chest. So I'm going to use a band for this, but this time I'm going to be facing the other way, and I'm using my other band so that all I'm going to do, put that one out to the side, is I'm just going to put it around once. I haven't tied a knot in it or anything, so that I can end up with 2 pieces of band that I can pull on, like so, okay? Poppy will stand, or rather kneel, so she's in an upright position, the feet are nice and flat, and she's going to hold the straps as tightly as she wishes, and you're going to hold it down by about the middle thigh, there or thereabouts, okay? So from here, I'll just move forwards a little bit so that you can see the reformer. From here, I want you just to think about your kneeling posture. Push the pubic bone forwards a little, the shoulder blades are softly down your back. We're again focusing on this part of your arm, okay, not the hands doing this, and it's in the name, an expansion of the chest. So whenever you're ready, a big inhale, and as you exhale, just pull both arms straight back and resist to bring it back to mid-thigh. And again, pubic bone pushes forwards so that we don't allow our hip to flex. We pull back, 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 and resist just a little in front of the thigh. Pull back, 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 and resist that little way back. We pull back and resist. We'll do 3 more and resist. 2 more and resist. Last one, and I want you to hold it back here. And you're going to look to your left. And you're going to keep it back there as you center your eyes and look to your right. All the way back. Let it come forward. We're going to do one more of these. So we put it all the way back. Hold. You're going to look to your right. Back to center. Look to your left. Back to center and allow it to come gently forwards. Now we're going to do a little thigh stretch. So we've opened the front of the chest. Let's open the front of the hip. So on the reformer, you come hard up against your shoulder rests. And we're going to hold pretty tightly. If you're on the reformer, you'd be round about your taping, I think, might be a little easier. Now this is just a baby hinge, and be very careful of your knees here. So I've tightened my band up. And I'm going to think about pushing the pubic bone a tiny touch forwards again, and a very gentle hinge at the knee. Keep the arms high. Keep them high, keep them high until you feel that little quad stretch, and all the way back to the upright. We'll just do 3. So pubic bone goes forwards, allow it to come back, and all the way back up again. Let's just go for one more. Allow yourself pubic bone forwards, allow the shoulders not to be chasing forwards of the lower body, and all the way back up. And just allow yourself a little moment. Perfect. So we're now going to do a little mermaid. So with the mermaid, you might or might not want to use your roller. It's a little glue spring on your reformer machine, and we're into this position here. So I'm going to use the roller just because it gives more of an effect. And we're in a little Z-sit position. If you're not using a roller, your hand can just be coming down onto the floor. The other arm is out to the side. On the reformer, we have the arm onto the foot bar, and the arm is also straight. So we push out a little way and hold. Now it's a middle back rotation to bring the other arm down onto the foot bar. The other hand just repositions a little. Then you're going to allow yourself to reach out just as far as feels good to you. Push your seat bone away from you, and then slowly draw yourself in and find a little extension of the middle upper back. And really focusing on my top seat bone pushing away from me. And again, we reach away, really feel that lovely stretch, then draw it in and find a little extension. Now I'm going to do a little demonstration while Poppy keeps going with my hands, imagining I didn't have a reformer. So I could just take a little elbow bend and then bring it up and feel a little extension. And again, bringing it down, lengthen the spine the whole time. So we've got rotation with extension. We'll just do one more. All the way down and lifting it up and up and up. Then, and if I was still on my roller, we take the outside hand to the center, we bring it all the way back, hold, then I'm going to slowly, as Poppy parks the carriage, we're going to come up and over. Now remember, lateral flexion comes from your ribs parting. We're going to hold the wrist and take a little stretch. And then slowly lift it all the way back up and down, and we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. So I will have my back facing to you, just so that it looks the same as onto the reformer. And you're going to take your hand onto what would be the foot bar, and you're going to allow yourself to just reach out. Now the hand comes down, the outside hand repositions, and we take that lovely stretch. I'm pushing my seat bone, my top seat bone away. Then lift the head up, the eyes lift a little, and lift into that lovely extension. And again, pushing away, and lift into extension. And again, pushing away, and all the way into extension. We'll just do a couple more, reaching it away. Remember, you don't need to use the roller. You can still enjoy this without the roller. And again, reach. and all the way up. Now, from there, push a little way out. Take your outside hand to the center of the bar. Your other hand comes all the way around, around, around. The carriage parks, and we bring the arm up. Remember, you're parting your ribs here, holding that wrist, and take a lovely stretch. Just feel that lovely stretch through your hip, lifting it all the way up and bringing it all the way down. So now, in line with the extensions that we've just done, I'm just going to put a box onto the machine and we're going to do some swan. So I'm going to use the roller again. You might not want to use a roller, you might not have a roller, so we can just show a little demonstration without the roller as well. A red spring on the box, and we're going to allow ourselves the two start positions on the mat of either being in this position here with a roller or being in this position here without the roller. Now it's entirely up to you if you have your hands either probably around about alignment with your shoulders, or you might want them a little wider than the mat just to make it a bit easier on your low back. It's up to you. I'm going to demonstrate initially with the roller. So legs are long and lengthened and active. We haven't lifted them too much, but we're very definitely not just letting them hang. The pubic bone is very weighted. And we're going to slowly allow the head, the neck, the chest to come up a little way. The eyes look forwards. And then slowly from there, we start to shorten the middle upper back. The ribs move forwards and up, but really get a sense of lift through the crown of the head. Pubic bone is weighted. And then we push the thigh bones away from us and allow ourselves to come all the way back down again. And again, inhale wide and full, and as we exhale, the head comes up, the eyes reach forwards, the shoulder blades stabilize as we push the ribs forwards and up, and really feel the shortening of your middle upper back. And allow it to come all the way down. I'm going to do one demonstration without the roller. So from here, inhale to prepare, and as you exhale, your head, neck and chest comes up, your eyes reach forwards. We start to push into the mat as we shorten the middle upper back and lift and lift and lift. The pubic bone is heavy, the thigh bones reach away from you as you bring it all the way back down. We'll do one more, and slowly from there. Head, neck and chest lifts, eyes have to move forwards. The upper arm is slightly externally rotated as we press the pubic bone down and really think about those thigh bones lengthening. And then slowly all the way back down, 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 and pause. Slowly from there you will park the carriage, so bend your elbows and just push yourself up however feels good to you. And we're going to take a little stretch in a box position or however you can find a sense of release. We often do this on the mat, taking our hands to one side, pulling the opposite seat bone over. You can do whatever feels nice to you, just feeling that lovely, lovely stretch. And again, just make sure that low back feels good. And whenever you're ready, we're going to bring it all the way back up, and we're going to do a little bit of rotation. So Poppy will keep her box. She's going to put just a blue spring on, and I'm going to come back to using my band again. So Poppy is facing the mirrors, and your feet are dangling either side of the headrest. And we're just going to take the band. She's going to pick up her opposite strap. So we're doing opposite hand, holding opposite strap, if that makes sense. And you're going to hold on to round about your webbing or your taping. It's up to you. And it's up to you how I've put Poppy on a box so that you can see her back is nicely straight. Sometimes even just sitting on a reformer, despite the fact you have the strap to keep you up, you can see that people sit back a little way. So if it feels better for you, you might end up on your mat sitting in a little diamond position with your legs. You might sit yourself onto a chair in front of your table if you're finding it's difficult to really sit up. It's entirely up to you. Now remember all the work that we've done, what we've thought about getting the pistol out into the back pocket, we've thought about the rotations of maybe getting a wallet out of the back pocket, really stabilising your seat bones. So the other arm that's not holding a strap is going to come up in front of you. This feels quite tight. And then you're going to slowly just bring your elbow back. So we'll break it down into little stages. Bring the elbow back and just let it come forwards again. Come a little further forwards. And again, you're going to bring your elbow back and then just let it come forwards again. On this next one, we're going to bring the elbow back and then draw it into a rotation. And then I'm going to let that hand with the strap or the band all the way forwards, and then we're going to come out and let the band and the strap pull us forwards. Bring it all the way back to start position, 3 more. Elbow first, and then into rotation, fingertips reach forwards. Then all the way with flow, drive your seat bones right down, grow super tall. Just 2 more, pull back and middle back rotation. And then allow the resistance to open, 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 open. 1 more. Elbow comes back, reach super far forwards, grow really tall, and open, 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 open. And then all the way back to start, and we switch hands. And then slowly from there, bring it up. Remember, left and right will feel very different. If you're not comfortable in the position that you're in, maybe get a cushion, some books, something to sit on. Try perhaps with straightened legs here. And if you are sitting with straight legs, remember, pull the skin from underneath your seat bones. It really makes life easier. And then slowly from there, just begin with a little gentle pull back. That's all we're going to do initially. And all the way back. Make sure you're sitting super tall. And again, pulling back and bring it back. Now on this next one, we're going to add a little bit more. So we bring the elbow back and we reach the fingertips forwards. And then slowly as we resist, the arm comes all the way around, let that strap pull you forwards. And again, back to start position, elbow, fingertips forwards. And then slowly resist, 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 resist. If you're on the mat, squeeze those legs together all the way back. Just 2 more. Pull back, reach forwards, all the way back around, and open, 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 open. And again, 1 more. Pull back, reach forwards, and all the way back, and open, 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 open. Perfect. All the way back, and allow yourself to pop your band down. So Poppy's going to take the box off, and we're going to do a little bit of just letting our hips loosen off for a moment. We call it legs in straps on the reformer, whereby she uses 1 red and 1 blue spring. She'll be lying on her back. Now I'm going to use, obviously because I could use 2 bands, but I'm doubtful that everybody at home has 2 bands, I'm just going to use a single band. So we'll all be lying carefully onto our backs. You are very welcome to have your head up if you would prefer. You can have a pillow, you can have a block, a book or something underneath your head. And we're going to put the band around 1 leg. So this will just show you where our leg circling with the flexi band really originates from. So Poppy begins with a lovely straight pair of legs. And I also have a nice straight leg. And I'm going to slide my other leg all the way out to long and lengthened. I've secured the elbows down, the bottom ribs are in. And we're going to slowly from there, keeping a very stable pelvis, we're going to come up a little, we're going to come out a little, and we're going to circle down and around and all the way back up. So we're just going to do 3 circles this way, around and back up. So really feel that thigh bone moving around in its hip socket and pause. Now Poppy will go the other way and so will we. Around and all the way back up. So really make sure that that pelvis is absolutely stable. And 1 more, all the way around and all the way back up. Now from there we'll come into a bent knee position. Poppy will pause. We'll take the other foot in and I will just place the original leg all the way down and out, and we start with that lovely long lengthened leg again. So we come up a little way, we go out to the side,
all the way around, 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 and all the way back up. Taking it out, circling it around, and all the way back up. Circling around, 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 all the way back up. Now we'll go the other way. So we go out, around, and all the way back up. Remember your pelvis absolutely stable and all the way back up. Around, 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 all the way up and all the way back up. We could do lots more of these. You can always do more if you prefer. I'm going to take my other foot now, take both into the straps. And on the reformer, it's exactly the same. If you allow yourself to pull your seat bones down towards the mat, allow your legs to come up a little way, you'll get a nice stretch through your hamstrings there. You can take a little knee bend and then push back up again, just getting that lovely, lovely stretch. If you pull your legs up, it might be a nice stretch for your back as well. And then we'll bring ourselves into bent knees. Poppy takes the straps off, I take the band off. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to hold underneath our knees. We're going to lift the head, neck and chest all the way up. We're just going to do a little bit of flexion here, a little bit of rolling like a ball as a linking move. So think about the wheel of the pelvis rolling backwards, the wheel of the upper body rolling forwards, and we begin a gentle rocking. And that gentle rocking, whenever you're ready, can bring you all the way up to the upright. Bringing it around, and we're going to finish with a little bit of single leg work. So it's a single blue spring on the reformer. It's a side lying exercise. We've done these in the classes before. The headrest is up on the reformer, obviously to keep your head up and in line with your spine. And you're going to take your band and you're going to make your band absolutely the same length. And then I'm going to be lying on my right side. So I'm going to take the band and I'm going to put it over the top of my left foot, under my arches, cross it over. Can you try to make sure that it looks pretty even on both ends? And then you're going to lie down onto your side. So if you have a problem at all with having your hand like so, then you can have your arm perpendicular in front of the body or to the body, or put plenty of blocks, cushions, towels underneath your head. It's entirely up to you. I'm going to have my arm out so. We're going to start lying down like so, and we're going to take the top hand and we're going to press it down into the mat, and you're going to allow yourself to push the top leg away from you. I want you to imagine that that leg is directly underneath your hip socket as though you were standing on the leg. And you're going to slowly from there allow yourself to draw the leg forwards and pull the leg back. Now keep this top hand anchored to the floor, drawing it back and allowing it to come forwards. Now underneath your waist is a little ice cube, and you're continuously pushing your top seat bone away from you, and you're continuously breathing wide and full, and you're making it nice and slow intentionally as you pull back. Now make sure you pull it fully back so that you get those hip extensors to work. Watch that your head isn't overly drawn forwards. You don't want to be flexing forwards. And on this next one, we're going to add a little bit of circling. So we let the leg come forwards, we lift it all the way up, and we take it all the way around. Now we'll just do 4 of these. Bring it up and circle it around. Bring it all the way up and circle it around. Keep breathing wide and full. Bring it up and circle it all the way around. Now we're going to do 4 going the other way. So we bring it back, we pick it up and around. Pull it back, lift it up and all the way around. 2 more. Pull back, relax your shoulders all the way around. Pull back and all the way around. Now last little thing we're going to do, we're going to push this leg away from us. We're going to come into a little internal rotation. We'll bring the leg a little tiny touch forwards and we'll do 10 little pulses. 10 and 9, 8 and 7, 6 and 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Slowly from there, bend your knee. We're going to take the band and obviously the reformer strap out. We'll come onto our backs. We're going to take a little piriformis stretch before we do the other side. So lie onto your back. The leg that you've just worked, you're going to cross over into a little figure 4 position. Now this might be enough for you. If you're on the reformer, you allow yourself to come all the way to the stoppers and we park the carriage. But if you can, with a little bit more intensity to this, with the lower abdominal switched on, you'll pick the underside leg up. You're going to hold your top foot with the same side hand and take your other elbow into the knee crease on the left. Now I'm trying not to flatten my back out at all. I pull the leg a little in towards me that's supporting the left leg. And to intensify, we roll a little across to the right. And I'm still not letting myself flatten the back. You can just do a little rock and a little roll. And breathe. Every time that you stretch, you want to make sure that you are breathing. And you pause there. Just bring your knees into your chest for a second. Hands onto the knees. A few little just thigh bone circles, whatever feels nice to you. Couple one way, couple the other way. And then slowly from there, I'm going to do a little linking move. Just Poppy can just roll over onto her other side. It's up to her. But I'm going to do a little linking move because this time I'm going to face the camera for the other one. So if you have the band, again, we're going to be, and you can do all of these without the band quite happily. Obviously it's my right leg that is my top leg now. I put the band around the underside of the foot and then holding the band, we come down to that same setup again. So the underside knee is bent. My hand comes down to the mat. Remember the position of the arm, it's entirely up to you. You can either have it outstretched, you can have it here, you can have it bent. And whenever you're ready, I want you to think about that top seat bone again. The top hip, push the top hip away from you. Watch that that leg doesn't end up too low. Imagine you were standing on the leg. Relax your shoulder blades softly down your back. A wide full inhale, and whenever you're ready, you're going to bring that leg a little way forwards. And as you exhale, you're going to pull it all the way back, 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 back. And again, let it come forwards. And slowly draw it all the way back. So keep breathing, keep thinking length all the time. And remember, resist that band just as you can on the reformer machine, resisting the spring that is pulling you backwards and forwards. And again, let the leg come forwards. And from the underside of your bottom, pull it back. Now I'm continuously imagining that I can push my top seat bone away from me. Push, 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 resist, resist, resist. And again, pulling it back, 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 and forward, forward, forward. Last one, and this time as we pull it all the way back, we're then going to lift the leg up without collapsing at the waist, circle it around. So it's very similar to our leg circles of earlier, but this time we're using more of that lateral hip, up and around. And we'll just do one more, and then we're going to do 4 little circles going the other way. So we go forwards a little, we come up, we pull it back and around. You might find that one side is actually tighter or easier or more challenging than the other. So always looking out for those little discrepancies left to right. We'll just do one more. Lift it up, 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 all the way around and back to your starting point, whereby the leg is as though you were standing on it. Now, internally rotate that thigh bone. Bring it forwards just a touch, but don't bring the pelvis with you. I'm going to do 10 little pulses, 10 and 9. 8 and 7, 6 and 5, 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Pull the leg back to start position, bend the knee and remove your band or your strap. And then we're going to do our little piriformis stretch again. So you're going to take that leg that you just worked into figure 4. Take a moment. If the hip is feeling tight, please just give it a moment. Breathing all the time. This might be enough for you, but if you want to progress it, you would elevate that underside leg, hold the foot, and then press your elbow into your knee crease. Or you can put your hand there, depending on upper arm bone length, whatever feels most comfortable to you. I'm pulling my left thigh bone in towards me to really get that stretch a little more deeply, and not flattening my back out at all. So I'm almost putting a little bit of curvature into the low back. And then we can roll a little way across. Play about with it, whatever feels good to you. And again, roll a little way across. And we'll just do one more of these, rolling a little way across and all the way back. And then just release, hug in, hold on to your knees again, and can we thigh bone circle again? Just a couple one way. Keep breathing, and then a couple going the other way, and just allow everything to feel lovely and relaxed. And a little linking move to finish to bring us back up again. If it's okay with you, bringing your head, neck and chest up, and pause, and then we're going to do that little rolling like a ball style linking move. It doesn't matter how many times you have to rock to bring it all the way back up and to the front. And that is us for a Reformer on the Mat class. I hope you enjoyed it. I will be back really soon with some more videos. Thank you so much. Take care.